Hello, hello, hello. Here we are again. Gonna go over the Bogota results while people wander in, and then we're gonna go check out some of the fun bouts because, oh boy, there were a lot of really insane bouts in Bogota. That's not for you, that's for me. Let's see. Share stream. I think I can get that from this page. Okay, here we are. Now we're ready. Fern Brady hooked up in a mental hospital. Seems reasonable. Alright. This is a season to do woman first, so we're going to do woman first. Alright, Darva Folmaeva, chalk. Min Lebet, chalk. Alitza Clarizzi, chalk. I don't know either of those fencers. Kai Lu, 56/9. She's a really active, fun fencer to watch. Anjin Favre, low seed, but she's better than that, so that makes sense. Eloise Van Riesel, the French woman, again, lots of French. Lim Tae-hee, Emma Franson over Ehler, which is surprising. Ehler, one of my teammates on ROBOTKLINGEN.de. Go check them out, code ROBOTKLINGEN. Tiana Oxenreader out to Park Jin-ju, one of the less known Koreans, which is really interesting because we've talked about Tiana before. She seems such a very defensive fencer. She keeps losing. We're not really sure why. My teammate on Izoljana Botvinnik over Mirflans Kandasamy, which is really nice to see. Magda Luna Maiga from Sweden. I hope she's young because I've never heard of her before. Isis Washington, very underseeded here at 61. Emily Conrad through, Alexandre Very through, Alicia Klasik through, over Anna Van Bromen, Lihi Mikulski through, Maximenko through, or Angel Shao is her username. Getting a nod that we have a low connection, but I don't know what else to do. So Amanda Bukowski through. Other than Kandasamy out, this looks pretty standard. Okay. Check out the men, because the men went nuts. Even in the 256. Tristan Shapari threw on a team kill. Valeria Cuomo threw. Ing out, which is surprising. He's usually much better than that. Bayard threw over Bobrov. Galley threw, but Elcourt out, which is crazy. He's easily a guy who'd go to top 16. Brochard out, which is insane. Other Cuomo, the younger Cuomo, threw. Kendrick out in the first round. Jean Joseph out in the first round. Oleg Nish threw over Hertzberg. This was crazy because Hertzberg's pool had Hector Kapp in it, who lost 0-0-0 and beat Hertzberg, who's insanely good, and then lost to everybody else and got shut out 3 times. So the pools were slaughtered too. There's only under 200 people here. Then on Xiao through, that's chalk, that's normal. Joanitis not through, but Valderrama's also pretty good. Finn Fafford through, love that guy. The younger Frazao out, but makes sense. Gaetani out early. Cooper through. The younger Elsayed out, but that's less surprising. Gabriel Lugo out, which screwed up my fantasy team something fierce. Mosen out. Mancarelli through, but Matsumoto out. Park out to Nagy. Yu out to Rodney in another US team kill. Let's see. Galassi through. Trailer out first round. Kazuyasu out second round to Paul Fortin. I've never heard of him, but there's always more Frenchmen. Arl Favre through to Heinema, over Heinema. Like Shortrai through, that's nice to see. Armaleo through. Zanov out. The other Ing out. And Calderon through, but Piatti out. Piatti out first round, that's crazy. And then, spoilers. Kano out in the 32 to Shapari. Galley out in the first round. Milton going all the way from the 16 seed. Mauro Gascon over Surta. Surta over Gascon. Bayard slaughtering McDowell. Imrek over Lopez. Bayard slaughtering Imrek, so he's figured something out against American crazy kids. Lesnansky from 28th over Yamada over Ho, losing to Komata. Ho over the younger Cuomo. Komata over the senior Cuomo. Frazao over Nagy. Komata over Frazao, which was an insane bout. And we're gonna talk about that one. Cooper through, Cooper over Drosfi. Puticino over Elsayed, which is crazy. Puticino over Sharlamov, which is not an easy bout. Lau over Shembri, sorry bro. Anochen over Freilich, which was another big comeback. And then I think this was another big comeback, and look at Anochen go all the way through. Eventually to Karanov. Ikabierka. That's shock. Tulin over Loyola. That makes sense. Tulin slaughtering Koch, which is insane. Nish over Rodriguez. That's about worth watching. Rodriguez is so big. Bardenay. Underseeded. Bardenay slaughtering Siklosi. Holy cow, that's about worth watching. I was going to write this down and totally forgot because they're so crazy. Let's see. Siklosi Bardenay. What do we want? The streaming, if you weren't there, was absolutely awful. Half the ships they immediately shut down because they didn't have the internet for it, and the other half were cutting out like crazy. But they did go back and pull the bouts and upload them individually, or at least most of them. Chino, El Sayed, Kuba and Drosfi? Look, we don't talk about those two enough. Czechs versus the Huns, Hungarians, Huns or something else. Wanted Komata, Rizal. Okay. We got enough to occupy us for a couple of hours. Orange Baird, McDowell. Now Baird, Emmerich. That's the first 2 rounds. I forgot we should watch the championships. What do we got? Kamata over Middleton. And then Kubatin over Kurbanov. And this is just the men. There's too much going on. There's literally too much going on to cover in one stream. What happened to the woman? Estimushari Hadley Hussisian. Estimushari, congratulations to her. She is now world at number 1. Very cool to see. Hadley Hussisian, I beat her when I was 11, and that's the last time I had a shot. When she was 11. So that's pretty chalk. Mohari over Washington, Mohari over Folmaeva, Mohari over Brunner, Hussisian over Luti, Hussisian over Foyetta. It's not an easy bout. Kaylin C out in priority to Remby, which is surprising because I imagine she is being more active than that and not going to that low of a score. Remby over Fiamingo. Katrina Lejes over Vere, over Klasik, over Marzani. So that's a bit of revenge there. Over Remby, and then out to Hussisian 15-5. And Rizzi, or Isola. Teriyama over Franzen, that's not easy. Rizzi over Santuccio. The other half of it's all the Italians. Cassia Nixon over Karkova, that's not easy. Over Brovko. That's not easy, but she got a little lucky that Brovko took out 5 because that would have been a harder bout. Kowalczyk over Hatz. Hatz over Paulus. I don't know who Hatz is, but that's in the watch, I think. Yete. Kowalczyk over Suzuki. Suzuki over Song. Wow. That's what happened to her. That's crazy. Okay, let's get right into it. We got too many bouts to watch. Okay. Write down some women's bouts real quick. We want to watch some Sicilian stuff. We want to watch Song. Sicilian Lejes. We want to watch Song. What you lose to? Suzuki. I hope that bout's on stream. Nixon, Kowalczyk. I want to see Nixon. Kowalczyk. Anything else that jumps out at me? Not really. All right. Okay, the men went nuts. What do we wanted? We wanted Chino El Sayed was on our list. We're just gonna go these in random order. What are you looking at? Alright, so I got 720. Hang on. Forgot I have a title. This is even centers. Okay, now I can go. slight pressure from Butticino to start us off with. And El Sayed can tend to wait for it, which is unusual. You don't really see him push holding like this. High-low from Butticino, that's good. El Sayed pinned back against the strip. And if you remember, we talked about Song, how she could keep going back and back and back. El Sayed's a much more upright posture, doesn't let him do that. All he can do is lean back. So if Butticino manages to avoid drawing the counterattack until he gets close enough by not overcommitting himself, then easy touch for him. So there he is. He's still slowly walking El Sayed down the strip. Ooh. Excellently well timed from Butticino. Just kind of sitting there waiting for El Sayed to attack an immediate counterattack to the hand. One of the downsides of having your blade go in absence is that you have to bring it out of absence to threaten target. And if your opponent is not in absence, that means they have a shorter distance to target and you have to move your blade through theirs somehow. So if you remember last time, or in my last video, we talked about how Marco Fischera was so good at high precision blade work. You can see something similar here. Actually, that was more of the Howery straight attack, this fast straight attack. Butticino here is hyper aware of the distance and is just willing to slowly push El Sayed down the strip and not quite give him the space he needs to build something up. And it actually doesn't look like it, but in the bout, this feels like a lot of pressure. Like his tip is in his face, always constantly jumping into his face. And Butticino is just pushing and pushing, and El Sayed is starting to crack a little bit and attack from out of distance. And then straight attacks from Butticino just really, really fast, because he's going as soon as El Sayed sees something. As soon as El Sayed moves. But the problem is he's doing it strictly one tempo, and so El Sayed will just stick his arm up like that, which was a brilliant response. And then he doesn't commit at all, and so there's nothing for Butticino to counter into. And so he kind of just threw him onto his point. But you only really get one of those. Now Butticino. Oh, I thought that was going to be El Sayed. That's exactly what El Sayed wanted. Butticino missed the first because El Sayed's body feint, and that's normally where El Sayed shines and gets the counter. But he just, I don't know if he missed it or if Butticino was just holding his blade high enough to block it out with his bell or what. But good touch by Butticino, but really kind of got lucky on that one. Good there again. It's threat, and then it's hold the pause, hold the attack until El Sayed's counter goes. And then it's... People have definitely started, I think, to figure out El Sayed. You go in a little bit of slow motion. Push, push. And then a small retreat, and that was it right there. I wish there was a way to go back less than 5 seconds at a time. Maybe I could have just gone back 5 seconds at a time. So the small 8, and then as we go play, it's the threat, fast threat, small threat, drawing out the counter, and then go. And El Sayed, because his body is so contorted, doesn't have a good doesn't have a good response to a second intention like that because he's so far off balance. Not to forget that Elsa is a really good fencer and has high precision blade work and all of that. Here we're seeing a more active variant of El Sayed. But it's the same thing. He's jumping into the counter and Buttuccino's just holding it and not getting hit. I think a year or two ago, people were attacking straight into that and seeing it as an opening, and I think people have gotten used to it. You know, for a given value of used to it for being at the high level. Got pushing from El Sayed, we got end of the first. Would have been interesting to see what happened, although I wonder if Buttuccino just let it go. Because he knew the time was running out. Okay, Buttuccino's just got to keep on keeping on. I want to see him. I don't want that last action to be the theme of the second period. I want Buttuccino to keep pushing and being active. El Sayed needs to calm down and be aware of the second tempo action coming. That's a second tempo action in my definition, where it's two parts of a sequence. And the fencing coach's definition would call that 2 one-tempo actions. As I push it again, there go Buttuccino's being a little bit more active on defense. Excellent snipe on the hand. But that was really good because there was no body movement from Buttuccino to trigger El Sayed's counter or flesh. It was just straight, pure hand shot to the arm when El Sayed got too close. Double there, A-OK for Buttuccino. So what else I can figure out here is he pushes forward, stepping from the hand. That's setting up the flesh. Yep. But really just pure phenomenal blade work from Buttuccino. 1-2 with just almost just his wrist. And that's something else I can't even get these all out in time. So Buttuccino's last touch was set up with his wrist, where just fast 1-2 and caught the flesh. That one El Sayed's been setting up for a while, where he's been going for foot shots, and it's been safe for him. So he went in and fleshed and continued. Step in there, another double, A-OK. Oh, that was pretty. I'm not sure why Buttuccino went, but excellent on El Sayed to react to that one. I'm wondering if that was the same hand shot he wanted before, but then he really committed to that one. Okay, so there's the foot, starting to bring it back a little bit. The foot that he went before and missed, and now he went and continued for the touch, and now Buttuccino's ready for the continuation, and El Sayed hits the first. Buttuccino getting eager now. He wants it, but he's got to stay patient like he started the bout on. El Sayed's taking back control much more. Yeah. Alceid's in control of the tempo and the distance now, and Butticino is chasing, which is a huge difference, even though Butticino looks more active from what he was doing at the beginning of the bout, where he was much more calm and in control. Oh, that was good. Alceid got a little bit too greedy going for the foot there, and Butticino caught the pair, saw the opportunity, went back, and was probably the winning touch. And we're only in the second period. Alright, a little bit over a minute left. Butticino back calm down, which is good. He's doing that too, trying to draw Alceid into his 6. Alceid hasn't bit yet, but he's the kind of twitchy fencer who may not have a choice. After a certain point, you just kind of, especially if you're a fencer like Alceid, you've trained your subconscious to react to openings, and so you can get into a situation where your opponent can give you an opening you recognize, but it's not really there, but you can't stop yourself hitting it because you're just so trained to hit that. We're going to go to non-combativity, folks, because that was 105. So I guess that's a problem for Alceid more than Butticino. Although, honestly, it's not a problem for either one at this point. Yeah. All right. This is still definitely winnable. Still definitely all in Butticino's hands. If he stays controlled and collected, then it's all him. If Alceid manages to rattle him more, then it can easily go back to Alceid, though. So Harry, take it. Come on, Butticino. That's him getting rattled. I think it was in my pool in Paris last year. Ooh. Yeah, he's getting eager. Alceid, another really good bait. So this is just a phenomenal insight into Alceid's nature of being really good under pressure. He's strongly the favorite here. Oh, there it is. That's a really good touch too. Alceid's strongly the favorite here. He's down. He's got not much room for error, and he's really racking up the touches. Like, he's definitely won that second period, or at least the second half of the second period, and he's definitely looking better now than Butticino is. It was like 11, no, not 11. It was like 10-5, and now it's 14-13. So let's see what happens now at the end. And it's a double. Just barely caught the arm on Alceid's duck. Alright, well, that was really cool. Well done for Butticino. Alright. You don't need to see any of that. Who's next on our list? Lamardo. Koch. Sayed Rodney. Kamata Frizal. There you go, the classic Kamata, extremely classic fencing. Very upright body. Feet very shoulder width apart. He's a little bit heavy on the blade here, but you can see he's keeping his feet active and jumping back a little bit. Frizal just pushing and pushing. He's actually in a very good on guard stance from the waist down. You can see his back knee is bent. His weight is loaded. But it's just his upper body is leaned extremely far forward. We talked about this in the Fischera analysis as well, which you should go watch. it's this lean is the good kind of lean where all in the hips and you keep your legs more standard, and it forces your opponent to engage with your blade to get to target. Just because the only close target is your head and your shoulder, and it's through your blade to get there. And like the waist and the everything from like the elbow down is just hidden behind your belt. Okay. It's all going low. It's Frizao, it's Emrek. Offensive, this extremely hunched over style. And one of the crucial keys to it, as Frizao goes excellently, is phenomenal blade work and a really good ability to threaten the hand. So you can't really leave it out there because they're just going to snipe it out. And then, so you have to keep engaging with their blade to prevent them from sniping your hand. And then everything builds off of that. And also that ability to control the distance by preventing your opponent from moving their hand forward.
Armero pista roja.
I don't know what that was. We are already at the completely other half of the piece. Ooh, excellent parry from Frizao. Kind of poor timing from Komata, almost parried himself, flashing into Frizao's low 6. So Frizao just had to like go like this, and Komata's blade got caught, and then easier post from Frizao to go up 2-0. Komata kind of already out of ideas, moving all the way to the other side of the piece. Frizao going high-low, high-low. Komata's got his arm out to force Frizao to engage at a farther distance. And it's kind of working in that Frizao keeps going high-low and not getting anything. But Komata doesn't seem to be prepared to commit to it. Frizao does a really good flush there. Komata trying to spin away from their post. But if your extension is good, you have the time usually to react to that, as Frizao does, and remise around. One of the lesser known advantages of fencing with the French grip is you get cool funky angles like that. You can see Frizao's every action, every prep starts with a shot to the hand. It's hand low, hand flush. Frizao really wants that foot, but I'm not sure if he's just doing it to mess with Komata or what. Komata finally gets one back, good counter. But almost too eager from Frizao, not so much set up by Komata. Frizao really active with the distance here. One fun pattern there I noticed is Frizao will jump forward and then take 3 really tiny steps back. Not there, but like before, to cover the same distance. Forward, little back, big forward, little back, hoping to draw Komata into that tempo, or possibly get him to commit too close without realizing it. It's really important to follow the distance and not the footwork. And because if you follow the footwork, your opponent can mess with you by taking smaller or larger steps, putting you in a distance you don't recognize without you feeling it. Double there, 4-2. This is not Butsino. Titles are hard. This is can I just stretch this sideways so that it covers the area? I don't really like that. Good enough. Just drop the middle menu. I'll figure that out later. Okay. Rosal is not easily giving up distance here. Does not want to let Komata push him. Komata is giving it up very easily with small push, big steps back, small steps forward. That was kind of pinned on the end of the strip. And really, that was again more for Rosal than Komata. Kind of a lucky double for Komata. Extended his arm and kind of held it out there hoping. Rosal sniping at the hand because it's still safe for him. Komata hasn't even shown an attempt at punishing it. I'm honestly not sure what Komata is looking for besides generically an overcommitment from Rosal. But he's not getting it, and he's not looking for anything else. So I don't know if that's his game plan or if he's just out of ideas and he's hard to say. Another good so this one I want to go back on actually, because watch Komata's feet. As soon as he steps forward, Rosal flushes. Komata takes another big parry and Rosal goes around it again. And small parries, but you have to step back with the parry to prevent that happening. Komata got caught in place and he got hit for it. That's a better one from Rosal. The same kind of action we saw as the 5-3 double, but this time Rosal had slightly better tip control and it hit while Komata fell short. The same kind of Komata holding his arm down. And we're just going to go to the third period. 7-3. I can't... Look, I've watched this bout. I know what happens. Trying to do my usual what's best. Hey, TPR! Thanks for joining. My usual what's best street fencer. Rosal looking good. I want to see a bit more aggression from Komata. He's looking for counters and parries and he's not getting them, so I want to see him actually generate some of his own offense. Butsuchino is El Sayed's counter. I would agree with that more if we hadn't just watched, and another really good one from Rosal, I would agree with that more if we hadn't just watched Howery beat El Sayed in much the same way. Oh, good one there from Rosal. When things get sloppy like that, anything could happen. And all of a sudden we've gone pretty quick from 5-3 to 9-3. Komata totally out of sorts with that attack. Kind of hopping his way down the strip, hoping to get something. Easy counter for Rosal. Again, Komata hopping his way down the strip. He's not lunging, he's not advancing, he's just hopping on his front leg. You can see like that. Like his back leg's totally off the ground. Totally out of sorts there. Now Kamata trying the Heinzer high 6 style. I guess we haven't seen since he retired, which is crazy. I was trying for the Prium, Rizal gets out of it. It's 12-3. And Kamata doesn't even have a chance to go talk to his coach. Oh, high low there from Kamata. Finally, literally finds his feet and stays in on guard instead of hopping forward, and manages to catch Rizal with kind of a beat that freezes him in place to go low and hit the side of the leg. Missed a touch. Extended arm from Kamata, marching him down the piste. Wild disengage from Rizal. Is a mosquito in here or something? And then easy flick to the arm from Kamata. This, wow! And then 6-4. Kamata's like, all right, I remember now. I'm the better fencer. I have the blade work. Takes parry there, but it's this aggression now. It's a crashing, almost an opposition instead of a parry. Kamata's sick of waiting for Rizal to come to him. This is actually, hang on. Started at 5. Started at 3. So it's fourth touch at 218. And then we saw the 8th touch at 202. That's 4 touches in 16 seconds, which is not even something you can do at the end of the period when you really have to. Kamata's daring for Zhao to come at him now. And now you can see he's got a much more bent leg. The extended arm is totally throwing off Kamata's game, almost like Koch fences. This active blade work, active blade work, active blade work. Kamata tired. But Rizal totally flustered. He's got his arm out, and Kamata keeps just bothering his blade until Rizal makes a mistake and then a flick to the arm. Straight attack now. Rizal does not know what to do. Yeah, that's a touch. That's just a misjudgment by Kamata. He thought Rizal would stay in place. And Rizal went around the side like he had done the other couple times. Better there from Kamata. Hey, Cruz. Yeah, this one was absolutely bonkers. Nice work in Bogota yourself. Sweeping pool is getting to the 64. That's hella good. Kamata equals it up in 40 seconds. 45 seconds, 7 touches. 8 touches. And he's still, oh my god, 14-14. This is crazy. It was 12-5 with 2:18 to go. And now it's 14-14 with a minute left. This is absolutely wild. Kamata switching blades for that golden touch. Anyway, earlier in the stream, I went through my list of all the crazy bouts I wanted to see. Kamata takes it with the same aggressive forward blade work. Absolutely phenomenal bout from him. And this happens in Saber. This doesn't happen in Epee. Like, you can get in Saber because it goes so quickly, where somebody just figures something out and the other opponent can adjust in time. This doesn't happen in Epee, but Kamata did it. 7 touches. You didn't feel this up right. Yeah. I'm sorry, bro. That's That's really frustrating. I've been there too. Wish I could just mute just this video. But you know, every little bit counts. Keep stacking up days, keep stacking up points, keep stacking up wins. And the more you do, the easier your first bouts will be and all the other normal platitudes. All right. Who were you against in your 64? I can't remember. I want to watch Song Suzuki. Get a bit of a swerve over and watch the women. Everybody knows I'm a huge Song Sarah fan. I have never heard of Suzuki Hanami before, but women deserve time on screen too. Look at me, look at me, look at me, look at me, look at me. I remember to change the title. Even spell Suzuki. And the nice thing about fencing is that the fencer can call a halt and stop the bout if they see something wrong. You don't get that in a lot of sports because there's a lot more happening and it's too easy to abuse. The fencers have been really good about it. And it makes everything safer and flow more easily. We got almost twins fencing, lanky French grippers. Is Song's kryptonite herself? Active tips, forward, back. It's a more active version of women's epee than there used to be, which was all about super precise distance control. But now they're much more active. We have not seen a single low line from Song. We have almost not seen a single attack from Song. You go into the first priority. Hey Cruz, what was the weather like down there? How's the arena? It looks kind of stuffy. Song all the way back on the back line. Not really able to push Suzuki. She wants to get more distance, I think, but she can't. Fake flesh. Fake flesh. That's so cool. She started the flesh and then stopped, like fake it, and that's what got Suzuki to commit to the counter. And then Song went, boop. That's right. Boop. Song pushing again. Counter there, but Suzuki doing the same kind of deal Song does where she goes low, but not quite as good at it. One thing to note that we saw in our analysis last time that we're not seeing here is Song is not controlling the far distance like she did in that bout, and she's not threatening counters in the mid distance like she did in that bout. There she goes low, but that was a 2 tempo low. There's 2 steps there. So it slowed it down a little bit. Normally she does it in 1. I think she was feeling a bit off. Suzuki not afraid of blade contact. I don't know if that little beat is what's disrupting the prep. Oof, bit of a bell punch. Not much you can do when you're both flushing at each other. Oh, not the bell punch. Blade went under the mask, which is even harder to control and even almost feels worse. Very active tip from Suzuki. Doing a really good job at messing with the distance. And probably making Song think twice about countering. To go to the end of the first period, really like that. Actually, really like that tip from Suzuki because she's moving more than Song. Song's content to wait for her to come, and Suzuki is never, ever, ever entering distance without being ready for something, which makes it possible for Song to do anything on one tempo right there. So as usual, like most of these fencers, I like to be a bit more aggressive, but I suppose not much I can do about that. And obviously they're much better than me, so they know what they're doing. There it is! That was the same two-tempo one she did before. Hot damn. Hot damn. Another, watch it again, it was so pretty. 123rd of Vancouver, have that to 53rd, almost have it again to 34. That was good, yeah. That's really, really good. Yeah, I saw the results, it was really close. I'm probably not gonna watch it on stream unless you really want to. Ooh, good from Suzuki to block out the counter if she goes in. But I'm definitely going to check it out just to cheer you on. You were down 14-8 and you lost. Oh my god, that's so frustrating. Oof. Like that. Where's my check though? Why are we not getting all of it? Hang on. Yeah, we all been there. Hang on, I got totally distracted, and now I need to reset everything. That's not what I want. Sorry, I got 7-4, so we haven't seen the big comeback part yet. Maybe this is not supposed to be a browser source. No, that's not what I want. I think what I want is not to scale it. Nope, still not working. All right. So Song's, sorry, I'm back on it now, I promise. Song looking a little bit nervous, but still with a good flesh. Suzuki getting, I think, farther into her distance, and Song is comfortable with people hanging out. Let's play with that a little more. Another double, 11-7. Yeah, Suzuki definitely controlling the distance here. Song wants to counter, but just doesn't seem confident that she's going to find the right opportunity for it. Like that's a very abortive flesh that really should have been punished. That's a bad lunge that should have been punished, to be fair. Suzuki resets. I love this option on the back line for me personally. It's easy to get over eager when your opponent is trapped and overcommit trying to hit them. Ooh, good attack there from Suzuki. And it's a good way to release the pressure and then push it back. And that change in pressure can get you a lot of touches. And if you pull your opponent off the back strip, then they start fencing more normally. Space needs that one. Oh, and Song just misses. Wow, she had the foot all the way and just misjudged the distance or the foot and missed, and then Suzuki got the counter on the foot, and then Song goes straight and gets blocked out by the bell. Misses again. Now we have 11-10 all of a sudden. It was 9-6. And she misses a third time. Wow, this is insane. 4 quick misses going low that Song just didn't hit. 3 quick misses, 2 counters. Song totally out of it. Song just in shambles right now. And there it is. Yeah, it's one long action. In the US, you can't get in the US they call it usually you have to start your action before the pass. But the real interpretation internationally is that you get one action wherever it happens. Oh, 2 actions, okay. I thought she made it. So this is also really good from Suzuki. As time is winding down and she's up, really tempting, and I fall into this trap a lot, really tempting to play for the win on time and not play for the win on score. Because Suzuki's not changing up her fencing, she's just as aggressive as she was before, and being aggressive got her into this position. I hope she's okay. I mean, also some lucky misses from Song got her into this position, but got her into this position for the best that it did, and so letting Song set up the touch is a totally wrong way to do it. Great counter from Song. She's starting to collect herself a little bit. So this is kind of the difference. Komato scored so fast against Frizao that Frizao couldn't collect himself. Song is a better fencer and a more mature athlete, and also had more time, and so she's able to recollect herself and start scoring touches again. Another one where a really good duck from Suzuki, which is a phenomenally brave move, actually. Wow. Sansera just missed over the top. Suzuki just almost like a dolphin wave underneath the tip. minute left, 13-14. I think it's gonna be a double. Song doesn't have the distance she wants. Hope she doesn't step off. Ooh. Suzuki took her foot off the gas a little bit. Let Song push her back. Song finds the timing for an excellent flush. And we got LaBelle again. This whole tournament is nuts. I didn't watch it, but who... No, I shouldn't say that. That's mean. All right. 30 seconds. Place your bets now on what the last action is. There we go. Suzuki's starting to press the same action. Ooh. Are we going to overtime? We are going to overtime. Priority left. That's not going to matter. Yeah, Song's pushing already. Suzuki is at that same. She goes deep into a lunge, but it's like half because her back foot goes back. Flesh from the coach. Flesh from the coach. Blades get tangled up. Pulling out a card. Bell punch, I think. Turning the back. Bell punch. Watching the knee right now. See where that flush goes. Nah, I think it's turning the back. Like, she hit the knee, but it was almost like with her wrist as Suzuki kicked her leg forward. It wasn't a bell punch. You could see the bell. Suzuki, wow, mucho aggressive. Oh no! Oh no! That's the right call. That's insane. Suzuki saved by stepping off the strip. Wow. This bout has everything. Holy cow. Suzuki stepped off. I'll watch it while they watch it. Watch it while they watch it. Suzuki steps off. There. And Song does two actions after the step. It's a jab, jab. You could see the two actions. You could see the step off. That's crazy. That's as close as it gets. Like a barely annulled touch. Suzuki going right back into it. That pull back is so clever. I love that. That was Suzuki took a half step back to push better. Oh my god, and she gets it! She's crying. Oh my god. Oof. The little breakdown in the middle where Song just couldn't quite get her tip on in 5 straight actions. Wow. Wow. Okay, We're going to take a quick ad break so I can play with the stream a little more. But I'll see you back here in a little bit for some more bouts. Why are wizards squishy? Because if they weren't, they'd be overpowered. Let's see, stream, output. See, I am Okay, well, clearly I still need to play with the stream some more. I didn't do anything. Doesn't look readable. Okay. No, that didn't do anything. Really hoping that would. Okay, well, now all the chat is visible. To me, it doesn't look very readable, but I suppose that's what you get. Okay. We are back. If you've muted me because of the ad, well, oh well. What do we see? Bayard Emmerich was on our list. I thought that said a 7-minute bout. I was about to go crazy. Ooh, I do not like that banner. That feels really in my face. That's really obnoxious. That would be true if I hadn't also spent many hours fucking around with it outside of live streaming. I have to figure out, you know, all the bits and pieces. Alright. We got Imrek, who fences like Frizal, or Frizal fences like Imrek. We have Bayard, who fences kind of like Komate, but more active. It's really annoying, right? Feels like it's in my eyes. I have a wide field of vision, and so I get this constantly. Sometimes my mask will start doing it mid-bout, and it's so distracting. They are not seeing a reaction from Imrek, decides to flash. Imrek's got that really fast hand we talked about with Frizal, same kind of deal. Yeah, but I was commenting on the live stream, the live part of live stream production. Production is definitely very difficult. I didn't like this look early from Bayard. He's jumping and he's standing up. We talked about against El Sayed in both bouts, Pauri and with Butsuchino, where it's so important to stay grounded the whole time. Yeah, that's what it is, like a hat that's pulled down too low, or a hoodie. That's what it is for me, is a hoodie that like the hood flipped over too far. Sorry, focus hard on the fencing. Oh, that was a gift, my coach would say, from Imrek. Just a bad lunge, way overcommitted. Good parry from Bayard, and just an easy counter. Another double there. Interesting. So this is like Bayard's game plan, it seems like, is this fast flesh. We're not seeing a lot of hand picks yet from Imrek, and that's kind of we talked about the cornerstone of his and Frizal's game. Oh, wow. So the flesh looks ugly, and it kind of is. But one thing it's really good at is keeping his bell high and outside to prevent counters. Better there from Bayard, but I really would like to see him be less surprised acting about it. Go back in a good on guard, and then be ready for a remise. Not a remise, or a post, or a counter. That's another little trick you can do if you're... See, Bayard is coming back like this. We don't want to come back like this. We want to come back in on guard, where your back leg moves first. And that's why his counters are so hard for him. We saw Haru not do it and get lots of touches. We saw Butsuchino not do it and get lots of touches. We saw El Sayed do it and get hit a lot. So, I mean, it's honestly good timing from Imrek on these surprise flushes. There's the first hand shot. Now he's starting to build the game. It's a call for jostling. It's not unreasonable. That's not. I don't know if that technically counts as a video review. He didn't actually make the video review symbol, but he's clearly doing it based on his request. It was a pretty hard hit, though. Anyway, I think at this point in the bout, Bayard is too focused on hitting that flesh, and he's not quite aware of when Imrek creeps into distance for the counter flesh. for his own flesh, like a flesh into prep. I'd like to see Bayard be a little bit more aware and active on the distance. But good there. Kind of ignoring anything Imric does and just powering right through it. Imric very not a grounded fencer, and so easy to overpower. End of the first. Pokey pokey again. The more active Imric is, the more of these little shots he gets, the better he's going to be. So Bayard needs to be real careful here about fencing this passively. Like that. The game plan is good. The flesh into anything game plan is good. You just have to be a little bit more aware of what's going on in the bout. Blah blah blah. Like there's more distance control. I'm getting bored of myself. That's not bad. Now Imric's very pressed. But again, a little bit too eager for Bayard. And Imric gets a double out of it and gets to reset. A little bit more active now from Bayard as he pushes in and pushes out. See a consequent reduction in the number of hand shot attempts from Imric. April, yep. Also, he caused the Korokor. Better there from Bayard, just because he didn't get hit by it. Excellent there from Bayard. Finally, far enough away to see it coming. And a really good response, even if it's like a crazy response. The spanner! Oh. Work is right. Ooh, a little bit lucky there. The sloppier it gets, I think the more it's in Imric's favor. But a good timed flush from Bayard. Flushes, draws the counter. Imric countering going backward doesn't work. Bayard gets a real strong parry. Gets the touch. I have to go.